As promised, I'm going to show you the cover that comes with the Ranger Reata 223 fish model. If you're looking to buy this, kind of cool. They send a cover, it's custom made for it. So here we go. So it's kind of dark under here, but as you can see, the cover keeps it mostly dry. Let's take a quick look at that. Some water's come in underneath because the wind's been blowing the rails, as you can see from the outside. So let's take a quick look around. Got a few poles out here. Sorry it's kind of dark, we'll try to lighten that up. But anywhere that something's touched, you know, like my head, it's some water's leaked through. So I've been going around tightening things up. It's the first time it's been in the rain. These are your bars that make the tent. Really cool thing, you can see it's from the inside now. Your air vents, which does a really good job. I've been keeping track on it. It has been in the rain before, but this is a serious storm. So you can see that water's come in from over here. Let's see, from underneath down here. So it's kind of trailed around a little bit. But otherwise, it's pretty dry in here. It's mostly dry. I've got a few poles out again, and the back door's open so I could slide things in and out. Kind of makes for a good deal. So we'll go back out and we'll tighten up this side. Like I said, we have the I went ahead and loosened up the trolling motor so that I can move it back and put a little bit more pressure on the ratchets on this side where it's come down and water has definitely leaked through from the pooling. So I'm gonna brave the outside, jump out, and take another look around. And I'll show you how to tighten that ratchet up. It's raining, so watch out. All right, so here you go. It has some cool anchor. It has some anchor points here. Anchor point here. Here's your ratchet. All right, so you're gonna wonder that. This is how you tighten the whole system up. And I think I have to tighten it up because I had some pooling in there. The trolling motor is sticking out pretty far, and so it has a pocket for the trolling motor, but I've pulled that back because it was too tight on the trolling motor on the props. It's still on there a little bit, but this was so tight that I couldn't tighten it up all the way without fear of ripping it. So anyway, let's go through this real quick, give you a good look at some vents, as you'll see inside, or have seen inside. And that allows for air to flow through. There's a lot of room for air to flow through, and water too. You see it doesn't cover all the way down around there. You may have noticed on the pictures in the gallery on their website, it shows a cover that hooks on. Probably can't get it where you can see it, but it's supposed to hook up underneath of this rail. Sorry, it's supposed to hook up underneath of there. Just got a mouthful of water. Clean that up. It's supposed to hook up. That's bad. Let's clean that off. It's supposed to hook up underneath the rail in this track, and I think I've seen covers like that. This doesn't do that. It floats around underneath of here. It has some these clamps here that everything just pulls tension against the front, and of course against your eyes here. If you're ever wondering what those eyes were for on the Pontoon, I don't really know, but they work really well for hooking this up. When you put it on, you want to make sure you go around the, whatever that's called. Yeah, you want to go around there and then up underneath, right? So you get this whole corner covered all the way around. Now, if you're mooring this somewhere, you've got it in a slip, and you want to have the cover on it. You'll notice your tie downs are covered up. Tie downs are right back here, but they give these cool openings so you can get to your tie downs and be able to tie your boat down while still keeping it covered. Cover obviously does good for keeping rain and sun off. You know, keep it out of the elements a little bit if you can't cover your boat. I mean, if you can't store your boat indoors or undercover. But it also gives a little bit of security because it's not that easy to get into these boats with this cover on. See, I get in and out of it a couple ways if I need to. This is the side door, the entry door. and you can just open that up and climb in. Like you see, there's water coming in from over here, and there's definitely water on that other side from some pooling. These doors are magnetic, so you got to give them a little bit of a pull on there. And here we'll just walk down the boat and check these out. So got a little slack because like I said, I undid the trolling motor, so go ahead and tighten her up. You can see as I do, water's just coming right off, and I'm pulling it down and getting the tension out of it. So give it a few more cranks. Now I want to go check that corner real quick, and we'll keep cleaning it off here. I'm gonna look through and make sure I don't have anything that's looks like it's pushing through. No sharp edges up against it. I don't know how you could get better, but it's not perfect, right? So I imagine it's really expensive to. That's where the pool was. Yeah, there it goes. So there's still a pool there, but I'll tighten up this side. Again, I imagine it's really expensive to replace, so I want to take really good care of it. We'll go ahead and tighten this side up a bit. It's pretty tight. Tell me, is there any pooling up there? What do you see? Looks like we're real tight right here. And it is really tight. Let's see if I can pull that down a little bit. It's about what you get. So otherwise, it's also got, that door's open, but it's also got this fly here. Honestly, instructions don't say what. Oh, we got some more pooling. Oh, I see where we'll have to fix that. This fly, I think it's supposed to go there. I can't get it to reach there, so let's see what we can do here. If we've tightened it, so get some adjustment out of it. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to untighten. I'm going to untighten. I'm going to loosen that up. See if I can fix that right here, and then tighten her back up.
Oh no! Oops!
I'm all wet. And I know what the problem is. I've got my barbecue mount up here and a pole holder for trolling, and you gotta bolt those on. I did not want to unbolt those. That kind of makes it a hassle if you're gonna do something like that. All clean, I think. Hope that looks good. Let's try this again. Man. If I could get it to stay right there. Here, hold on. Why don't you stay up here for a second, and I'll see what I can do. You guys hang tight right here. See what happens. So where's that gonna go? You know what I mean? Without breaking something. Yeah. Get a second pair of hands. See if I can tighten that up. Keep an eye on it for me. Okay, all tight. So I'm pulling a little bit on those mounts. I think the next time this weather's gonna break, I'll be out fishing next weekend. Not this weekend for sure, but no, yeah, this weekend. It's what? Thursday. That's right, weather's supposed to break midday tomorrow. Saturday. Going fishing. Stay tuned for that video. That's when this video is gonna drop. When I'm out fishing. And sorry, I'm just looking over the boat, just looking at the where everything's tight and how much how much pooling there might be. Here, let me get a good side shot for you. Let's see. Not bad. Eh? There's the Magic Bus Boat house. It's that's the custom RV we live in, our fifth wheel. Stay tuned for those videos too. Got a review on that. That's a Recreation by Design, custom made, completely custom, and I'll let you know how I feel about those guys and whether or not it's worth spending the money to have a custom made RV. Sneak peek, that depends on what you're after. Service after the sale, a little bit like, not to the, well, we'll get into that later. Not terribly happy about that, but they're getting things taken care of for me. Obviously there's issues, there's always issues when you buy a fifth wheel, whether it's custom or not, and you got to deal with warranties. So I like and don't like them. But let's talk about Ranger, White River Marine, Sun Tracker, same thing. Bass Pro Shop, Cabela's, all the same company. So if you didn't know, sorry to spoil it, there's no real Santa Claus, all right? It's all the same thing. So take a look over this, and I'll give you a quick talk about what happened to my boat. So here we are, up here in the front, left side, port side, right in one of these welds, this girth weld right here, down here, right there was a massive hole, like as big as a pencil, not the lead, like a pencil, and it was coated with this paint. So the weld had a big hole in it, and it filled up with water, filled that pontoon up with water, at least one chamber of it. And of course these chambers are baffled, so all the water will move throughout. If it leaks, it moves down towards the back. Now on the back starboard side, right side, yeah, there was a mishap on that. So let's see, back here you can see, you probably can't, you really can't tell where the repair was. Let me clean that off again. It's raining, guys, sorry. So back here there was another hole, two big holes, same size. First day I took it out, wanted to make this great video about it. We did put a video out first time on the Ranger. Left that part out because I wanted to talk to him, find out what was going on before I badmouth him. So give him a fair shake. I went back to, I called up Mark over there at Gone Fishing Marine up in Dixon, California. And if you're anywhere near Dixon, California, and you want to buy a boat, go to Gone Fishing Marine. By far, hands down, the best boat store in the world. They are, you know, the whole place is like one big family. They're really good people. They treat you really well. Not salesman-like, you know, like just like people. They treat you like a person. So I called Mark up and I said, hey, and I sent him a quick video. See if I can find that video. I'll show you right now if I can find it. So take a look at this. Yep.
We couldn't, it's sad that we couldn't fish on a boat. We had to fish on shore.
So he's been indignant about it all. That's what I sent Mark. And he said, get your boat back up here as soon as you can. Now, I happen to be a long ways from there, but got my truck, hauled my boat back up there. He gets a hold of Ranger. Ranger's supposed to get a hold of me. Mark gets the repairs taken care of, and he has a guy that did that. You can't even tell it was done. So they repaired the hole, they repainted it, perfect match, same paint, everything's great. That's fine. Ranger guy calls me up and says, White River guy calls me up and says, hey, this is a mess, I'm really sorry about that. And he's got some big title. Decent enough guy. Seems absolutely distraught that would ever happen. Now, according to Mark and the interwebs, it does happen. Small pinholes every once in a while. Kind of a little two big giant holes like that, a little rough, in my opinion. You're gonna make a weld, somebody's gonna inspect that weld. You know, if you have a quality control, you're gonna take a look at it and say, all right, that weld looks good, and then it's gonna go to the paint shop. I would think there'd be another check before it's painted for somebody to go through and look for any holes. Also, at some point, they put air in these things and they put them under pressure. They test this to see if it leaks. There's a pressure test. And you can see that right here. You see those 3 bolts there, plugs. Those are the 3 chambers. And those are there so they can put air in them and check the pressure to make sure that these hold air. Something didn't happen. That check wasn't done, guaranteed. Or if it did, it was just passed and shouldn't have been. Long story short, you know, I was really just placated. He said he was gonna do something really big for me. He was gonna take care of me, which I don't know what he was gonna do. I mean, I'm out 2 or 5 hours of driving. So I figure the fuel on that, something like that. I'm like, all right, hey, I'm not the guy to ask for much, but what I'm out a bunch of diesel. You know, and some of my time. I wasn't out on the water. Took about a week or two, about 8 days to get taken care of. And of course, I couldn't get back up there till the weekend to go get it. So missed a couple weekends of fishing. Anyway, he eventually sent me a $100 gift card to Bass Pro Shop. So he gave me money to spend at his store. Not Mark, that's the Bass Pro Shop guy, White River, Sun Tracker, Ranger, that guy. Sorry, clean you up. He said, he sent me a $100 gift card to just give back to them. Oh, I spent it, of course. Bought tackle. But, did they have to do anything? Nah, not really. Am I happy? Got my boat. Go on the water. I'm over it. Yeah, here's a bunch of footage of me walking around the boat. You've seen them all online. You've seen Rangers put out some. They paid for some to be put out by Boat Trader, I think, by the magazine. And they're cool videos. And they show you all the features. It's a great boat. It's hands down a step above their Sun Tracker models. The flooring's better, the seats and upholstery and everything's just one step up. So it's kind of like your GMC Chevy thing, just a little bit better. Is it worth an extra $4,000 to $5,000? I don't know. Handling is amazing. I have owned another pontoon boat, the original Magic Bus boat, a 1995 Sun Tracker with a 60 horse 2-stroke on it. It would go, I could get it up to 20 miles an hour by myself, and it, you know, it's a 2-stroke, so it's just ripping loud. So how's the handling there? It's a mechanical cable steering. It's just standard what you'd expect on a boat. This thing turns and moves like a Cadillac. It's got hydraulic steering.
We're gonna do donuts.
But you're so
When I've got this thing at about, by myself, actually with one other guy, we've got it up to 34 miles an hour. You know, you play with that trim a little bit. There's a way to do it. You can get this thing cooking as fast as you can go with it, with a Mercury 150 on it. They sell it with a 200. Do I wish I bought the 200? Yeah, but I'm not missing anything, I'll tell you that. But you try to make a big turn, and I wasn't trying to make a big turn, but when I started to make a turn, I noticed you really have to crank on it. You have to turn it really far to make it go as far as it would when you're going slow and just turning a little bit. So steering seems like it's reactive in some ways, which is probably a safety feature. That's probably part of the hydraulics. I don't claim to know how that works. But it's kind of cool. I don't know, is it louder in here underneath the umbrella, or is it louder out here? I guess we'll just have to decide whether or not we want raindrops or noise. I got a new mic coming. All that wind noise that you guys always have to deal with, which I appreciate you if you've stuck around through the wind noise. We're gonna get rid of that. Got a new drone too. So you guys got to see me crash my little Mavic Mini, but so I got the Mavic Pro 2. Now, will it make these videos better? Make them cooler. A lot more fun to shoot. Welcome back to the Magic Bus Boat. Guess what? We're on our boat. We're out here at Pine Flat, just east of Clovis. It's a super cool lake, really quiet. It's pretty nice out here. So we're just gonna do some fishing. And in the meantime, let me show you the boat. I know you guys have been wondering, when are we gonna get the boat? We've been waiting since July for the boat. It's here. So you got the sneak peek earlier on it. Now let me take you around the boat and show you all about it. So let's start right here. Let's see if we can get a shot of this. Gotta back up so with the anchor. Okay, let's start right here. These are the fishing chairs, but they're captain's chairs. And these chairs can slide forward and back. They can swivel. They have armrests. They also will recline. So
what if you have a baby?
You can take a nap.
Yeah, a baby.
And then let's see. So let's move on. You have a pretty good storage locker here. It can be used for, they sell a changing room, but right now we're using it for some for tackle. It's not ideal necessarily, but that's what we're doing right now until we figure it out. I have a lot of ideas of what to do. But there's a lot of room on the boat. We have a table over here. The table's pretty neat, so it can swivel any direction, and you can lose your water. So we have a table over here. The table can swivel all the way around. So if you're in here and if you want to get out, it's in your way, you can just move it out of your way, move it back, do whatever you like. Come on back here. There's a lot of storage underneath here. They're dry storage. We had some rain, the cover wasn't on, but it did a pretty good job of keeping everything dry inside. There's some channels in here that so there's all kinds of stuff here now, but these channels here, they run the water out and down throughout the bottom of the boat. But you can still get a little bit of water in there. It's a lot better than the old boat. It was a lot better than the old boat. So we keeping our life vests in here and whatever spare jackets we have. Same thing, it has these channels that run the water that runs down here out, so you don't have to deal with it. Everything doesn't get wet, which is a big issue. So the rear seats, these are extremely comfortable. They fold up and down. Might be difficult for you to do, but they do swivel too. Same thing. They have a lever down here somewhere. There you go. So here's the seat. It's a Ranger seat. It's embroidered, embossed, all that. Of course, it folds down for travel and snaps, but they're in a pretty good location. You guys have probably all seen, if you've been looking at the Ranger pontoon boats, these pole holders. They're pretty handy. You just slide in and out there. You got plenty of room for tools, drinks, and some storage. And in this case, it's a battery box for the boat battery. We have more pole holders, more. There's all kinds of slots and holes and things in this that make it convenient for putting things in. Now, everyone's seen this, right? You've all seen it. You've seen the reviews. You've seen how it works. There's a six rod holder. It's 7.5 feet long, runs all the way up underneath the console. So you got plenty of room to get it all the way in, and then to get your pole all the way in and then back it up. Here, I'll show you. This pole isn't a 7-foot pole, but for instance, if you've got a 7-foot pole, you've got plenty of room to go forward and then back out to get in and out. Of course, it's tight when you got 6 poles in there, but you'll figure it out. Here in just a minute, we're gonna. Oh, here I'll show you this. We put a Minn Kota 112 on here and paired it with a Humminbird Helix 10, and it's This combination is pretty awesome. Still learning how to use it, but it's pretty cool. Up here, you have a live well, and we don't have anything in it right now, so
We're trying to catch fish for it.
a little bit of water. We'll catch some fish and get it in there. This side's storage, and then of course the live well in the back. The fishing model only comes with like 2 speakers on the sound system, but you don't really need speakers when you're fishing. You want to catch fish, not listen to music. But Mini's really neat. It goes up and down really cool. And you know, you've all seen this kind of stuff. You've got all kinds of pockets. If you've been looking at buying one of these boats, you've looked at the 2 or 3 videos the Rangers put out. You know, it's somebody else, but you can tell it's Ranger putting the video out. And they show you all these features. So far, let me tell you what I got going on. And you got to see the boat run on the last video. It's extremely smooth. It's you know, I've got the 150 on here. You can put a 200 on. You know, of course I wish I put the 200 on, but you know, we just came across the lake at about 32 miles an hour with very little effort. I mean, really no effort. It just felt natural.
You can barely hear it. Well, you can hear it. It's just kind of quiet.
It's really quiet. So our last boat had a 2-stroke on it. You know, it was like running a motorcycle at wide open throttle. It was loud. So what did I forget? Oh, and everybody's seen this. So under here is and I've got my camera gear stored in here, is the third pontoon is great storage. I think it's about 7 feet long. It goes from front to back, further in and out. And there's a bilge pump, which you know, I guess works. we didn't need to use it when we had a leak. So Ranger Reata, 223 fish. Should you buy one? Yeah, if you're in the market for a pontoon boat, pick your color. I got blue, gray pontoons, gray logs they call them. Gray interior. Is it worth an extra $4,000 to $5,000? Yeah. Actually, I don't even think it's that much. Check it out, see what kind of price you can get. But if you don't need the extra luxury, buy the tracker. Doesn't matter to me. Either way, I'm happy.